Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna. For those of you who are new here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. In today's video, I'll be doing my rendition of the 10 coloring books to finish in 2022. And if that is of interest to you, please stay tuned. Now, I was absolutely inspired to do this video by Jade. I'll go ahead and link her channel below. I generally don't do the 10 books to finish, and in fact, when you see what I'll be doing, you'll know I'm still not doing the 10 books to finish. But what really sold me isn't so much the books that she chose to finish, because she did have 10 on her list, but it was the coloring book spread she did in her coloring book journal. And I'm like, oh, okay, well now that makes it super interesting to me. I do use coloring to unwind and de-stress, and so setting any kind of hard and fast goals by way of how many pages, how many books, or any of that thing is just counterproductive to what I need this to be. But what I'm going to be showing you in today's video are 10 books-ish that I'd like to focus on for 2022. I sort of did this already in 2021, and I just want to kind of expand and formalize it. And at the end of the video, I'll show you this spread that was, again, absolutely inspired by Miss Chelsea on how I will be tracking it and why this makes it so interesting to me. So one of the books, and they're not in any particular order, is this right here. This is Reptiloids by Vasil Psycho. Now, this is one of the few ones where it is very book specific. And so I don't plan on finishing this book. I did count and I have like 20 plus pages to go, but I do plan on working on this book every single month. Now, fortunately, I am in a group Buttercolor in this book with Emma, Erica, and Poet, and so it does make it fun to come in here. Although, you know, if I wanted to do another page in here besides our group, I certainly could. But this is definitely one of the books that I want to focus on for 2022. This is the one that I actually did this last year. And so this was the Opal book that I got first. I got it in January, but I didn't start coloring it in it until February. And then every month thereafter, I have colored at least one page in either this one or this one since then, and I would like to continue that. So again, this is going to be the start of, it's not specifically any one book that I'd like to focus on, but just an artist. Now, I do have the other one, the artist edition, the green one. I'm not a fan of the paper, so I will need to figure what medium I like using in there, because right now I've used watercolors and I didn't like how it moved. And so for this kind of focus for 2022, it's really going to be about these two books. If I also work on that other one, great. But Opal is one of the other ones I'd like to focus on for 2022. If you guys have been watching my channel, you guys know that I love the artwork by Ikuko. I actually have 2 of her coloring books. I have Surreal Fantasy and then like Beautiful Portraits or something like that. It's tucked away, so I don't have it right now, but I'd like to do at least one picture in one of her books every single month. I've been doing some watercolors with my girl Deb, and so it just makes it easy, but it's artwork style that I enjoy so much that even though there are doubles in this coloring book, I wouldn't mind doing them twice. That can't be said for many of them, but for this artist, that definitely is true. So Ikuko is another one I'd like to focus on in 2022. If you're playing a drinking game along with this, you're going to be drunk by the end of it, because I'm going to be saying 2022 a lot. Another artist I'd like to work on every single month is Joanne Basford. She's definitely one of my top 5 favorite artists. I don't have all of her books. I don't feel the need to have all of her books, but she is really the reason why I fell in love with coloring as an adult years and years ago, and her World of Flowers was the very first book I picked up in January 2021 from my local Target when I rediscovered my love of coloring as an adult. And so I definitely want to give her a little bit more attention than I have in previous months for 2022. You guys thought I forgot, huh? Another artist that I picked up relatively late in 2021 is Carla Magana. This is Fashion Circus. I just went on and ordered the Spooklets sketchbook, I think it is. I think that's what it's called. And so I want to work on at least one of Carla's books. I do have 4 every single month. I've been doing a butter with Chelsea. And whether I do a color with here, Chelsea and I have been doing colors, or if I just do it on my own, I find hers really fun to work on, really quick colorings. And so that definitely seems doable to me for the year 2022. You guys know I love me some Zan Von Zed, and yes, I actually have all 4 of them now. And so every month I'd like to work on at least one page in Zan Von Zed's various Ladies of Leisure books. I also have some Zan Von Zed pictures in some Coloring Heaven compilation books, and so I can get the fix from any one of those sources, but this is definitely an artist I'd like to focus on for 2022. Eerie is one of the few artists that I actually do have a complete set. I think the only thing I'm missing from her is her little postcards. The only place I've seen them are on Book Depository or Amazon Japan, and with the shipping and then the issues with Book Depository, if they don't show up on Amazon, I'm going to be okay, because I actually don't have any other little postcard books in my arsenal as of right now, and so that's fine. I don't give Eerie as much love as I'd like, but I love her art work. I love her art style. So every month I'd like to do at least one page in one of her books. And right now I have 8. So it's not going to be that I'm going to complete anything anytime soon. It's just I'll be showing the artists some love throughout this year of 2022. So Eerie is definitely one of the ones I want to focus on. I have absolutely fallen in love again with my Mythographic books. I do have 6 as of right now. 2 are at work and 2 are here at home. And I'd like to do a page of one of them. Again, I'm not going to say one in each. That's just not realistic. I do work full time. But I think one a month from one of the various Mythographic books that I have is absolutely doable. They're not necessarily a quick color for me because they are heavily detailed, but they are an interesting and sometimes simple coloring, just the way that I attack the pages. But definitely I want to focus on Mythographic books in 2022. From what I've seen, there's like 2 or 3 more coming out this year. I'll wait till I see flip throughs. I do have space constraints. I've actually had to move things out, get rid of things to kind of focus on my coloring book obsession. And so I do need to be super mindful, especially since I don't plan on finishing anything this year. Just keeping adding because I love individual pictures. It's not feasible. I mean, I could get rid of other stuff. So yeah, I'm not saying I'm not. I'm just going to really try hard to be aware of that. But Mythographic is definitely one I want to focus on. And then the last 2 categories are actually based on the type of book. And in that way, it does give me some variety. And so one of the ones I'd like to work on is anything in a hardback. So for me, that would be Flora or Luna by Maria Trolle, Tales of the Forest Kingdom by Hannah Carlzon, the Ink House, Lady Spring, that hardback book from Opal. I do have Vitro. I also have the Together book by Luke Adam Hawker. And so any of those would count towards that goal of working on any of my hardback books. And I liked having that because I don't have a lot of any individual artist. I think what I have right now is sufficient, although I do want another Hannah Carlzon book. It does give me some flexibility, like reading, like my other hobbies. I'm definitely more of a mood hobbyist. Where my mood takes me is the hobbies that I do. And so I don't want to box myself into, I'm going to do this book or this book or this book or this hobby. I'm just going to let it be out there in the universe, and then I can pick and choose what works for me. So one of the hardback books is definitely on my list of things to do on a monthly basis. And then the last category is my 10 by 10 books. So that's just basically the size. And so that could be any of my Kirby books, my fairy tales book from Emily Lidhall Oberg, the Gulliver's Travel, Mouse Guard, Dreamland, pop manga. I have actually quite an assortment of 10 by 10 books. The Denise Klett book I have. And so this gives me a bit of a variety to choose from on a monthly basis because then I'm not, again, constrained to one particular artist, especially when I have just ones and twos. And so I think that just gives me a well-rounded selection to choose from for 2022. I think I actually forgot to say that in the last one. So for those of you who don't know, this is my long-term reference journal. And so this is for collections and trackers that I don't want to have in any particular year, that I want to have that information over multiple years. And I did do a spread for this. And it's just this one page here. I did put some stickers down that I had in my stash. And then the way that I'm going to do it, it's very straightforward. So I've listed all of the books that I've shown you guys here. And then I've got the months of the year on the side. And if I color at least one in one of these, I will check it off. Now, it'd be great if I check everything off every single month, but let's be honest, life happens. Some months I'm super in a coloring mood, some months I'm not, and so it's just going to be what it's going to be. But I like having this here, and it does seem doable to me. Now, it does seem like a lot of detailed books, intense books, but I can also double up on some of these books on some of the hashtags that I like to do by way of Corey of Colorfully Optimistics Alphabet Challenge on a monthly basis. I actually do 2 different pictures every month for that. Zombie Girl and Potato Princess are doing a Hollow New Year. I don't actually like to color a lot of seasonal pictures, but I love anything Halloween, spooky, or witchy. Maybe not necessarily spooky, but I certainly like more gothic or like witchy type of pictures. And so that's something I'd like to participate this year. I think it's a year long from October or November of last year through October or November of this year. Jamie, Sarah, Tiana, and I, we're going to be doing a year-long sort of collab where every even month we're going to be doing a picture in one of our books by way of a color theme. And I'll actually talk a little bit about that in a different video, but I'd also like to mark that here. So between the hashtags and the different books, plus there's Olga Rani's Finding Color, there's Sarah from Chronic Coloring Down Under's, her color Opal. I believe that's going to resume back in February. I'll be able to kind of double, triple up on various books and also get some of the things I'd like to do on a hashtag level done as well. So I'm looking forward to it. And I wanted to put a little reminder to myself that says, remember, I color to unwind, to feel creative, to feel productive, to help manage my anxiety and anxiousness. It's a fun way for me to bring creativity to life. It's about the process, not the outcome. And this is really why I color. This is why I do the hobbies that I do. And so once it starts feeling like homework, once it feels like it's a chore, then I will stop it and do something else. All right, guys. Well, I'd love to know what you think. I'm really happy by how this looks. And as always, aloha.